Hi, my name is Amber Gonzalez, and I am an assistant professor in child development, and that is part of the Undergraduate Studies department here at Sacramento State. So my research focuses on adolescent identity development, motivation, and the development of career aspirations and expectations. More specifically, I really focus on the development of social support networks and institutional structures and how those influence the development of students' motivation and aspiration development while they're pursuing their education, so throughout the educational pipeline. For example, my latest research that I did with colleagues looks at longitudinal data. And what we did was we wanted to look at how do academic intrinsic motivations change over time, and how does that also relate to students' need for cognition. And what we found was that students that had high levels of academic intrinsic motivation early and also had that high academic intrinsic motivation later on in high school also had a need for cognition. And what does that mean? So academic intrinsic motivation really relates to students' enjoyment of learning for learning's sake. And need for cognition really relates to students' desire to have more problem-solving tasks or engage in more problem-solving behaviors. So what we found was students that had high academic intrinsic motivation and a need for cognition also had higher degrees earned by age 29. So some of that research that I've done looking at motivation as well as looking at need for cognition, I've also incorporated that into my classes here at Sac State. And so rather than lecture on course concepts or course material, I have a lot of activity-based lecture materials. So instead of students listening to a lecture, many times they get into small group and they engage in problem-based learning. So they'll have mini research projects that they'll sort of be engaged with during class and incorporate in-class discussion. So I'm no longer teaching, they're more teaching each other. And that's how they really grapple with the concepts, gain an understanding of those concepts, and then create new knowledge many times.